everyone, and thank you so much for coming back and joining me for another Retro Fridays video. I'm really happy to be coming on and doing these every week. Honestly, I've been doing them for so long now and I get really lovely positive feedback. And for tonight I have picked a fantastic one with the awesome, legendary, one and only Arnie. Of course it is the 90s classic Christmassy movie Jingle All the Way, and this is a movie that, oh my goodness, I cannot miss. You know, certain sort of some little Christmassy movies that sometimes I'll give a miss, you know, some years, but this one, it cannot be missed. It has to be watched without a shadow of doubt. It is hilarious. The best way I would describe this movie would be, it's a really fun, entertaining, hilarious, has my stomach in stitches family movie. You know, it's an entertaining movie for adults, teenagers, kids, you have it, you know. It's a great family movie to sit down to, is what I'm trying to say. And I don't know about anybody else, but I think the ending is really like emotional, but in a good way, in a sweet way. But I always can't help myself. I always tear up at the end, and I do cry at the end. You know, the line where Jamie says to his father, Howard, who of course is played by, you know, the lead character Arnie, one and only, he says, "What would I want a doll for when I've got the real Turbo Man at home?" It's just so sweet, and you're just like, oh, and it honestly does make me really emotional. But you can let me know what you think at the end, or maybe it's just me. But the thing about this movie is, yes, it is such I would say basic story, but it's a very simple, you know, storyline, right? But the thing about it is so super magical. It's extremely Christmas vibey, very Christmassy from start to finish, obviously, you know. The whole story is basically, obviously, we know about Howard. He has forgotten to pick up the Turbo Man doll for his son Jamie, who is played by Jake Lloyd, who, you know, aka Little Anakin. And is it just me, or when you watch this movie, you know, for those of you who are subscribed to the channel who are Star Wars fans, do you think when you're watching the movie, you know, oh, there's Little Anakin, you know, I always think that. But that's what I love so much, because of course I love Star Wars and I love him playing Anakin, but I also love seeing him in this movie. It's just such a little adorable, little cute little actor. And my favourite character, I don't know, you can let me know who your favourite character, I'd be so happy to know who your favourite character is down in the comments. But my favourite is Ted, played by Phil Hartman. And of those of you who don't know, I mean, if you're a big Simpsons fan, I absolutely am obsessed with The Simpsons. And he actually voiced Troy McClure. Sadly he, you know, is no longer with us, Phil Hartman, which is sad. And I mean, you know, you can look into it if you don't know, but it is sad how he actually died. Very sad. And I think if they had have made, say, a live action, you know, that could have been kind of fun, way back in the day, back at that time, you know, of The Simpsons, he would have been the most honest to goodness freaking well perfect choice for casting for Ned Flanders for The Simpsons. Honestly, trust me, go back, rewatch Jingle All the Way, and then just Ned Flanders, hectic freaking well. Yes, he is my favourite character in this movie, and here's why. He brought so much comedic presence to that movie. And I know the whole film's comedic. Arnie's hilarious in it. You know, it's just a funny movie all round. Very comedic. It's a comedy Christmas classic, basically, is the best way to describe it also. But he's just such a little, what would you call, he's very kind of sickening, I suppose you could say, but sickening like in a good way, you know, he's sort of sickening you. And it's funny, his whole entire character, obviously he's the neighbour of Howard and his wife Liz, who's played by Rita Wilson. She's a fantastic actress as well. The whole cast is extremely talented. There's no one in there that's wasn't well suited for this film. Really fantastic cast for the whole entire movie. But, you know, he sort of fancies Liz, Howard's wife, and, you know, he's always trying to flirt with other women and everything, come across like, oh, I am the most, you know, I'm a wonderful father and everything, and look at my kids, and, you know, look what I done for my kids, and oh, I'm so perfect, you know. And then he's always saying to the women, you know, like, oh, I can come over to your house and fix this, that, and the other. And she's like, oh my goodness, like, what is he like? But, he, you know, he's trying to flirt with Liz. And, of course, you know, Howard goes out to try and get this turbo doll that he completely forgot to get because he's just super busy all the time and always spending time at work. And the crazy sort of whole thing of the whole movie of him trying to find this turbo doll is absolutely fantastic and hilarious. But during all of that, obviously he's away a lot because he doesn't want them to know her to know that he forgot about the Turbo Man doll. But then, in the midst of all that, you know, Ted is trying to sort of seep his way in, and sort of, in a way, it kind of looked like he was taking over. And he was in the kitchen and everything, you know, baking cookies. And that was sort of Howard's thing. That was very much so his thing that he sort of done for his son and everything for Christmas. And Howard rings up on the phone. He's like, put Liz on the phone or whatever. And he's like, oh, see, she's in the shower. Do you want me to put her on, sort of thing? He's like, no. And then he says, oh, I'm baking cookies. It's, oh, I'm cooking up a storm in here. And he's like, but one of my favourite lines from Arnie in this whole entire movie, and it's literally how he says it with his accent. Put that cookie down. And I can't do it. I cannot do it. But I'll leave it to Arnie, basically. But absolutely hilarious. And another one of my favourite lines was actually by little Anakin, a.k.a. Jamie, in the movie. When his dad rings him up. And he said, I can't put Mum on the phone right now or whatever. It's just next door petting Ted. Because he had a reindeer that he got for, you know, his son, Ted, and he called the reindeer Ted. But obviously, you know, going to keep it, you know, kid friendly. But when we got the gist, we got the joke. And it was absolutely hilarious. There's so many funny one-liners, honestly, from the whole entire cast, which is what I loved. And I know it might sort of seem to some people like, you know, no specific character outshone the others per se, but for me, I think the most sort of, I wouldn't say talented, but the most sort of funny, charismatic character in there was definitely Ted. So anyway, that's why it's my favourite. I absolutely loved probably my most favourite scenes would be pretty much all of the scenes with Ted in it. And then towards the end of the movie, he's just like, right, I just lost all my marbles now. And freaking Arnie goes in to his next door neighbour's house, Ted's, because he can remember from the beginning of the movie, he said, oh, I already got him his Turbo Man doll. It's nestled safely under the tree or something. It's nestled safely under the tree. Because, you know, he's always coming across like he was a perfectionist and he was like daddy of the year sort of deal. So he goes in, pretty much wrecks the house because he went to take the friggin' toy from under the Christmas tree. Absolutely terrible, but it was a hilarious scene. And then, of course, Ted the reindeer comes in. It's not, that's what I love about it. It's just so random. He goes in to steal it, and a freaking reindeer called Ted charges at him. Classic. Now, here's something really interesting that I think yous are going to like, in case any of you didn't know this. Now, this movie was produced by Chris Columbus, but originally the movie, they sort of went with, they were first given the idea towards them of, you know, pretty much, you know, how toys were selling out at the time, like Furbies. Furbies were massive. Now, I actually have something that I want to show you, and I feel super old showing you this. And it actually says 1999 on the tag. Yes, I am old as heck. I'm just joking. I'm an 80s baby, right? And I actually still have my Furby from 1999. And I'm being very cautious holding him, because when I lifted him to do this video, just to randomly show you, because, you know, I am as random as you're going to get them. and he reminds me of a strawberry. I don't know why, but he reminds me of a strawberry. Even from the very day I had him, he reminds me of a strawberry. And these were so popular, and he still works. This is a Furby, right? So it was kind of like, you know, the whole like commercialization or whatever of how, you know, how back then especially, it was very hard for parents to get. Obviously we didn't have Amazon, we didn't have eBay, right? So everybody's flocking out to get, you know, like Cabbage Patch Kids and Furbies and things like that, right? So that was what the movie was originally going to be all about. But then Chris Columbus, you know, pretty much, yeah, he did. He obviously, you know, sort of showed that. He obviously showed that in the movie. But instead of doing it all about like the Furbies and all these other toys, he's just like, right, okay, let's just do it in general, where, you know, you have Arnie going out and he's, you know, trying to rush around the shops to try and get it, and then it's showing you that, you know, oh, we're all sold out. You know, oh, we're all sold out. There's no way you're going to get one of these Turbo Man dolls. And I can actually remember when I was on, I went to Orlando when I was 10, and we stayed there all over Christmas. And I can remember because Santa Claus actually left all my presents back in, you know, Ireland, of course. But we stayed in America all over Christmas. So I remember when I was in Orlando that people were going crazy to buy, you know, Woody toy from Toy Story, mainly Woody and Buzz, and you just hear people like, I need a Woody doll, I need a Buzz Lightyear toy, and blah blah. And a guy said that he had to travel like a long distance, really super long distance, overnight just to get a Woody doll for one of his sons. And he was talking to my dad and telling my dad about it. I can always remember my dad always like retelling this story. It's funny. Sometimes my dad forgets he tells people things. He's like, he just keeps retelling the same story. It's funny. But anyway, this is such a Christmassy film. I love the music in this, the songs in it. Like, oh my goodness, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Every year when I'm thinking about watching this movie, Jingle All the Way, I just think, it's the most wonderful time of the year. That's all I think. You know, so many good songs in it. Run, Rudolph, you know, Sleigh Ride, fantastic songs. And here is the thing, you know, imagine if this type of movie was out nowadays, and please no one touch this movie. Please no one try and do a remake of the exact movie Jingle All the Way. Heck to freaking well no. No one's going to be able to do it better than Arnie and Phil Hartman. Sorry, it's just don't even freaking well bother, is what I have to say that. But the songs in it would either be something really terribly auto-tuned, or they'd stick something crappy in there like Rihanna, Ariana Grande, you know, your usuals, you know, repetitive nonsense. When they go to the parade, I think it's super cool, you know, the whole sort of like fight scene and everything, and they actually do think that that's real. And I completely forgot to mention, guys, Sinbad, the stand-up comedian who plays Myron in the movie, he's a really cool sidekick cast member for Howard. Him and Arnie are really bounce off really well together, you know, just bickering back and forth because he's trying to get the same doll, he's trying to get the same Turbo Man doll as Arnie, and I think that's really funny the way they added someone else in to kind of help with the sort of whole, you know, sort of goose chase or whatever. And at the end, you know, it's funny because at the parade everybody thinks that it's real, and that's what's actually happening. It's like a sort of like a staged sort of thing, and as you would think so. And it's just that's hilarious when his wife and all is like, Liz just like sort of like looking at him in the suit sort of thing, like, oh, like she likes him wearing the suit or something like that, and she kind of wants him to, I don't know, stay dressed like that or something so random. But yeah, I absolutely love this film. I want to know down in the comments your favourite scenes from this movie. As I say, my favourite scenes are most likely just scenes of Arnie and Ted, or just Ted in general, because he's absolutely hilarious. And it's so sad, like, that he did pass away, because I think that, you know, there would have been so many movies that he could have been in, and he could have been in more movies with Arnie, he could have did other things, and, you know, it is such a shame. But, like I say, you know, The Simpsons, he could have easily been Ned Flanders back then. And honestly, even if they did like a live action of The Simpsons now, because let's face it, there's pretty much a live action of anything and everything, you know, nowadays. Because I think, you know, I can't think of anybody else that could actually would be good at Ned Flanders, so I honestly think he would have been perfect cast. But I actually think it would have been kind of interesting. I know this video isn't about The Simpsons, but I thought I would bring it up since he did voice Troy McClure. I think that back then, you know, we weren't being sort of like thrown all these monotonous, constant live actions like here you go, here you go, here you go, and here you go sort of thing of thrown at our faces basically. I think it would have been kind of unique to have something like that back then, and it would have been kind of like random, oh, okay, The Simpsons, but human version sort of thing. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I want to say. It's, what else can you say? It's a classic comedy movie, and it's perfect to watch at Christmas. I actually watched it yesterday. I always watch it sort of, you know, in December, and I was on my holidays, in case any of you didn't know and you're just sort of catching up on my channel. I only came back from Poland on the 4th of December. It was absolutely beautiful, really, really, really beautiful. I would recommend. I was actually in Krakow in Poland, and it was absolutely stunning. Really, really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, other than that, I really look forward to hearing from you down in the comments. I know that I normally do this video as a premiere, but because I'm really still pretty tired from the whole sort of holiday thing, I just thought that I would put this up as a normal video, just kind of like as a one-off for this evening. I really hope that you do not mind that. Obviously, it'll be back to normal next week, and it'll be as a premiere, and then I can sort of talk to you as in, you know, live as and when the comments are coming up. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Let me know who your favourite character is down below from this movie. And if you haven't seen this movie, what on earth are you doing still watching my video? Go and watch Jingle All the Way. Surely someone you know has it. Surely you can get it somewhere. You know, trust me, I highly recommend it. If you like comedy, if you like Arnie, then this is, I can't recommend it enough. Just go and watch it. And I will speak to you all soon. But until my next video, don't forget that the force will be with you always. And my dog, again, just like my video last night, has slept, I think, the whole way through this video. So yeah, talk soon guys, bye.